The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, and welcome to another episode of Coffee Time with Blind United. Excuse me. Of course, I'm Ed, and I'm all alone today. So, well, I have you. Those of you may join me while I'm doing it. Those that may view what we're doing a little bit later on. So, well, I'm going to do what I can to get us through this. As I've been told recently, I guess without me, Blind United might be dead in the water. I don't know. I like to think it's a team effort, but I'm going to do my part, and this is something I've chosen to do, so I'm going to do my part every day, and here I am. Love me or hate me, I guess. So, but anyway, we have two interest groups today. We have Miss Deborah Erickson at 2 p.m. Pacific time. She's doing her interest group named The Blind Kitchen. And she's a chef, has a lot of different tips, excuse my language, so tongue-tied this morning, tips and tricks for working inside the kitchen, and preparing meals with vision loss. So today is going to be working with heat. I guess you got to expect that, right? If we're going to work in the kitchen, there's definitely going to be some heat in there, right? So, but Deborah always makes it seem, a lot of fun. And so come in, check it out, see what kind of tips and tricks she's got for working with heat, as well as whatever products she might know of that will also help you feel secure in the kitchen, working with heat and vision loss at the same time. So again, that's 2:00 Pacific time. Then right after her, well, not right after her, we'll take a little break. Of course, the next gentleman, Sean Keen, he'll be with us at 4 p.m. Pacific time. With his introduction to AI. I don't know, maybe we might not want to necessarily call it introduction at this point, but I mean, maybe if you don't know a whole lot about it, it's an introduction to you. But there's a lot of stuff out here going on with AI, and Sean likes to have fun with it. He does a lot of different stuff with it. So he's always coming on and sharing something new that he's discovered that he can do. With the various chat models. Well, not just chat, whatever you want to call them, these large language models. AI is everywhere. AI, trust and believe, if there ain't many areas right now where AI does not have a presence or is not influencing it. So you might want to just pay attention to what's going on with this AI and learn how to use it to your benefit, but at the same time, learn how to use it to protect yourself. Learn what to look for to make sure that AI is not, using your personal information and so on and so forth. So again, it's just another aspect of AI. So come check out Sean tonight at 4 p.m. And I'm promises to be always interesting when working with Sean and the things he has to share with us. So on that note, again, I am by myself today. So makes it a little harder when you don't have anybody to, conversate with back and forth. So let me run down here. Please bear with me as I do all of this by myself today and try to navigate to the various products of this. So I'm going to check this chat right now. Okay. Let me see if we got anybody in here. Okay, so we don't have nobody coming yet, so we're going to get away from that. Let me get back up here. Anyway, as everybody knows, we have completed the signing up for those couple of events we got going on. The scholarship coming up this Sunday, where we will be awarding two nice size scholarships to a couple individuals here in the LA area. We'll announce those names after the event takes place. So anyway, come on out. If you can't come out now. Well, you can, I guess, but anyway, we're going to be doing that on Sunday. I know we got quite a few people showing up. It's going to be a nice time. We're going to honor a great man and the work he did within the community, Les Sabatnik. So that's going on this Sunday, May 19th. And then, of course, later on this month, May 25th, we actually have our color party. That's a Saturday. We're somewhere where we're going to have fun and hang out and see how creative people can get with their coordinating their items that they bring, as well as their outfits and so on and so forth. So everybody will get their picture taken and so on and so forth, and be able to explain the correlation between their attire and their items and all that good stuff. So again, that was only $15. That's a nice little fundraiser. On that note, I wanted to share that we do have a new fundraiser coming up. So let me get to that, and then I'm gonna play that for you right quick. This one here is not until August the 9th, so I'll give you a little bit more info on the other side of
it. Feeling lucky? Join Blind United for a thrilling day at Viejas Casino and Resort. Slaw Machine. Mark your calendars for Friday, August 9th. We're rolling out from Montclair and Buena Park at 9 a.m. sharp, so don't be late. For just $21, enjoy a ride filled with fun, refreshments, and the chance to win big. Remember, space is limited, and the deadline for your non-refundable payment is July 9th. Bring your game face and your ID and get ready for a day of excitement and entertainment. No worries about the drive. We've got you covered there and back. Book your spot now. Contact Cheryl at 909-821-9589, Turston74@gmail.com, or Pedro at 323-631-2122, Paguilera at blindunited.org. You can sell your payments to Blind United Incorporated using the email blindunited2022@gmail.com. Let's hit the jackpot together.
So let me a little bit further explanation on that. So we do have a couple of buses, two different buses actually, is going to be going to a Viejas Casino down in San Diego. on that August the 9th. We've been down there several times before. It's a nice casino down there. They got a nice outlet mall across the street from the casino. So if you're not that big of a gambler or whatever, you can run across the street to the outlet and get your shop on and get you some great deals and stuff like that, So, but it's just an opportunity again for get folks together and do some things that they like to do, whether it be, gambling or shopping or whatever. And it's also, of course, a fundraiser to support Blind United and what we try to do here. Again, this stuff is, we provide everything that we do for free, all of the interest groups, all of the training that we do, the JAWS, whatever we're doing, it's the whole thing, the whole, as a whole, that's what you're supporting. You're supporting the scholarships. Like, again, we're giving away 2 nice scholarships this coming Sunday. We wouldn't be able to do that without you guys' support. But at the same time, you can support us by participating in some of these activities that we do here locally, as well as, like I said, there's a nice opportunity for everybody just to get together, hang out, and do some stuff we like to do. So, again, that'll be August 9th. The tickets are like $20 for your seat, $20 a seat, $21. I'm sorry. And the reason we do 21 is $20 for the seat and $1 tip for the driver. You know what I'm saying? So we get on the bus about 9 o'clock in the morning. Need to be there by 8:30 so we can get on that bus and get up out of there. We're at the casino down there for about 5 hours. So we're doing, like I said, 2 different locations, one in Buena Park and the other one out here in Montclair. So if there's something you think you might want to participate in, as we say, you can get at Cheryl Thurston, cthurston74@gmail.com. She's the contact for the bus in Montclair. And then our brother Pedro, that's normally here with me, he's the contact for the other bus out in Buena Park. But he's also the contact if you would rather communicate in Spanish. We're also trying to bridge that gap. We love our Latino brothers and sisters, and bottom line, we're all blind, right? So, again, we try to do things as well where we include everybody. So, again, come out and join us on that one on August the 9th. And like I said, we'll have snacks and beverages and stuff, while we're riding on the bus. Of course, once you get to the casino, you can do what you want to do. There's restaurants at the casino. Well, there's one restaurant at the casino that's open. The buffet is shut down. But across the street, also at the outlet center, there's a few places over there to get something to eat as well. So let me move on a little further. I got some articles here. I guess we're going to play some of them. Let me get this social media stuff out the way first. And then all right. Be right back with you.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Britt. It was nice to hear your voice on the recording. I miss you. Again, it's a little rough doing this by yourself, but we're going to get through this. I'm just showing my commitment to Blind United. I'm showing my commitment to my community, and, being able to share information with you guys about the different stuff we got going on, not only within Blind United, but what's going on around us. And on that note, we got an article. I think you guys are going to like this. Well, I'm going to go up here the other way. Please bear with me. I'm navigating backstage back here trying to get to the right stuff that I have. This one here, I think you guys are going to like this once I get up here to it anyway. It's actually a video. It's actually a video about, again, AI stuff. Okay, there we go. Finally got to it. So this is we're talking about AI and Be My AI. Well, this is Be My Eyes. And again, with the new features and stuff there, well, let me just play it and we'll talk on the other side and let you guys make your own opinion on it while I give you mine, right?
I'm Andy Lane from Be My Eyes, and I'm about to take a journey that may change lives around the world. Vision is such a dominant sense for most of us. Our eyes feed us an endless stream of information, but it is somewhat different for me. I'm blind, so I've had to learn new skills and use workarounds to live my life without sight. I still think visually, but I have to build the images in my mind through other means. Today though, I'm experiencing something new. I'm using OpenAI's newest model and voice-first interface to imagine the world through a conversation with an AI.
Nice sunglasses. They definitely add a cool factor.
Oh, thank you. What is in front of me at the moment?
You're looking at a beautiful sunny day by the River Thames in London. Right in front of you is the Tower Bridge, one of the most famous bridges in the world, with its majestic twin towers and blue suspension cables.
That's perfect. Can you tell me if the bridge is up or down at the moment?
The bridge is down at the moment.
As the AI is speaking, my mind is building a visual image. I'm now getting a real appreciation of the majesty and scale of some of London's sights as they're described to me.
Tell me what you can see.
I can see the top of Big Ben peeking through the trees. It's got that classic neo-Gothic design with the recognizable clock faces on each of its four sides. It's such an iconic landmark, isn't it?
I can visualize the iconic sights that so many visitors come to London to see.
Is the king in residence at the moment?
Yes, it looks like the king is in residence right now. The Royal Standard flag is flying above Buckingham Palace, which is the signal that the monarch is present. How exciting to be there while the king is home.
Try and tell me exactly what they're doing right now, please.
Right now the ducks are gently gliding across the water. They're moving in a fairly relaxed manner, not in a hurry. Occasionally, one of them will dip its head under the water, probably looking for food, and then pop back up.
I even know when a taxi is coming with its orange light on. I think I'll hail it to get home.
Yes, I spotted one just now. It's heading your way on the left side of the road. Get ready to wave it down. Great job hailing that taxi. It looks like you're all set to go. That's a good dog right there, leading the way into the taxi. Safe travels.
Blind people around the world have rich and fulfilled lives, but it can be so much more difficult without sight. But my experience today has given me an overwhelming feeling of power and joy, and I'm so excited that other blind people around the world are soon going to have access to OpenAI's newest model through Be My Eyes.
I think it's a bit like a driverless car. It feels like it's a lot to take in, but then the instant that you do take it in, it just becomes completely normal. And that normality is like so full of hope and optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That was very interesting. So this is actually a new model of Be My Eyes that's coming out that is, has AI assistance. Man, that really sounds good. I'm hoping that it is as advertised. I have not yet looked at it. I just got this information yesterday evening, late yesterday evening. So I didn't get a chance to really listen to the whole clip last night. I just grabbed it, was told about it. They sent it to me, listened to it a little bit, got it loaded in here, and I said, okay, well, I'll experience it with you guys this morning. So, but man, that's some good stuff. I mean, once we get to where we have that form of interaction, and again, that's what I'm saying. I hope it is as advertised as, when it comes out, when it's available to us. That will help a lot of us out. I mean, again, me being someone that was sighted, like he said, I still think in a sighted way, and I just having something to be able to describe my surroundings to me is something that I can ask questions about my surroundings and so on and so forth. We didn't even get into how well it would interact with our per se, GPSs and stuff like that, or being able to, what, I'm getting a little hungry. Do you see any food places nearby? That kind of stuff. Man, this sounds really, really great. Can't wait. Can't wait. I'm actually, as soon as this is over this evening, or I'm sorry, this morning, I'm actually going to go and see if I can uh, uh, see anything within the app about it, and how long it might be or before it comes out. Maybe do a little bit more research on it. Hopefully, Brother Pedro will be back with us tomorrow, or if not Friday, that maybe he's already got some information on it or something. I don't know. I actually got this from George. George gave this to me late last night. I had hoped that he was going to be here with me this morning to help us try to navigate this a little bit better. But of course, he's a working man, had a few other things going on. He's a busy guy down there in Texas. So let me check these comments one more. Okay, so I ain't got none of that. So let me move on a little bit further. See what else we got here. Do this. Well, we out on time. Excuse me for talking to myself. I'm just used to being able to talk to other people. So I'm not necessarily talking to myself. I'm talking to you. Those I don't know if anybody's listening in right now. They're definitely not commenting, so they might be sitting in the background listening to me mumbling. But then again, there's always going to be somebody that's going to check this out a little bit later. So let me see. So here's another thing that I found. I'm sorry. I'm going to give credit where credit's due because, like I said, I am on here by myself today. But, my folks are still helping me out. Like I said, that last article about, the Be My Eyes AI feature that's coming, George sent that to me. And this one here, as most articles are, came from Pedro. So I want to give him credit for what he does as well. So, but this one here is about corporate America, you guys. Again, please don't take offense. That's why we say this is my opinion, but We just try to point out things, and here's a little something about AT&T. Got caught up in a little something, and we'll talk about it on the other side. So be right back with you.
AT&T paid bribes to get two major pieces of legislation passed, U.S. government says. Payments helped AT&T obtain key legislative wins in Illinois, prosecutors say. The U.S. government has provided more detail on how a former AT&T executive allegedly bribed a powerful state lawmaker's ally to obtain legislation favorable to AT&T's business. Former AT&T Illinois President Paul LaSciazza is set to go on trial in September 2024 after being indicted on charges of conspiracy to unlawfully influence then Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan. AT&T itself agreed to pay a $23 million fine in October 2022 in connection with the alleged illegal influence campaign and said it was committed to ensuring that this never happens again. U.S. government prosecutors offered a preview of their case against LaSciazza in a filing on Friday in U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois. A contract lobbyist hired by AT&T is expected to testify that AT&T successfully passed two major pieces of legislation after the company started making payments to individual Fr. 1. The Madigan ally, referred to in the court document as individual Fr. 1, is former state representative Edward Acevedo, a Chicago Tribune article notes. Acevedo, who was Madigan's assistant majority leader in the Illinois House before retiring in 2017, was sentenced to 6 months in prison for tax evasion in 2022. Madigan left his House Speaker post in 2021. In one internal email sent to an AT&T employee, LaSciazza allegedly described the company's quid pro quo with Madigan as the Friends and Family Plan. The government said the bribery scheme resulted in passage of legislation eliminating AT&T's carrier of last resort, CLR, obligation to provide landline phone service, and separate legislation related to small cell deployments. Madigan, a Democrat, was House Speaker when both bills were passed. The lobbyist who is expected to testify allegedly acted as an intermediary by transmitting payments to Madigan's ally. From February 2017 to January 2018, LaSciazza conspired with Madigan, Madigan's close confidant, Michael McLean, and 3 AT&T employees identified as ATT-1, ATT-2, and ATT-3 to corruptly confer benefits on a Madigan associate to influence and reward Madigan for passing the CLR legislation, the government filing said. Madigan and McLean were indicted on federal racketeering and bribery charges and are scheduled to go on trial in October. LaSciazza was indicted on 1 count of conspiracy, 1 count of corruptly giving something of value to reward a public official, and 3 counts of using a facility in interstate commerce to promote unlawful activity. Madigan's outsized power in the General Assembly meant his approval was necessary for the passage or defeat of legislation of concern to AT&T, the government filing in the LaSciazza case said. Testimony at trial will demonstrate that Madigan and McLean were closely associated, and that McLean acted on Madigan's behalf in soliciting and facilitating the provision of benefits from AT&T, the filing said. The $22,500 was paid in 9 monthly installments of $2,500 in 2017, the filing said. The payments were approved by AT&T even though internal justifications to AT&T's accounting department for the payments to individual Fr. 1 were incomplete in that they did not mention that individual Fr. 1 was the intended recipient of the payments, the filing said. A false contract amendment was allegedly used to conceal the payments. Specifically, at McLean's request, defendant and his co-conspirators arranged for AT&T to pay individual Fr. 1, a former state representative and political ally of Madigan, approximately $22,500 for supposed consulting services. The reasons given for paying individual Fr. 1 were pretextual, and individual Fr. 1 did not work in return for the payments, the government said. The people referred to as ATT-1, ATT-2, and ATT-3 were employees that LaSciazza supervised in AT&T's Legislative Affairs Group. The filing says the Friends and Family Plan comment came in a communication from La Schiazza to one of these employees. Quote, in an email on July 12, 2017, less than 2 weeks after the COLR bill became law, defendant received a request to sponsor a non-profit event from a relative of Madigan's at the suggestion of our good friend Mike McLean. Defendant forwarded that request to individual ATT1 and noted, "This will be endless." Individual ATT1 responded, "I suspect the thank you. Opportunities will be plentiful," a reference to the recent passage of the COLR legislation. Defendant responded, "Yep, we are on the Friends and Family Plan now." The COLR bill approved in 2017 eliminated AT&T's costly responsibility to provide landline telephone service to any Illinois resident who requested it, the filing said. AT&T is currently trying to end its landline phone obligations in California, but utility officials in that state are set to reject AT&T's request. AT&T projected that enacting the COLR legislation in Illinois would save the company millions of dollars, the government filing said. AT&T had failed at multiple prior attempts to pass COLR reform between 2010 and 2015, partly due to a lack of legislative backing from Michael Madigan, then Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives. As a result, AT&T viewed Madigan's support to the renewed COLR effort in 2017 as critical. The Illinois small cell bill that became law in 2018 established fees for small cell tower attachments used by carriers like AT&T to boost signal, the government filing said. Madigan helped advance the bill and helped defeat an amendment to the small cell legislation that would have been harmful to AT&T's interest in the spring of 2018, the filing said. On one occasion, AT&T employees allegedly discussed in emails whether they could be certain of receiving credit from lawmakers for the payments to individual FR1. Quote, notably, individual ATT3 emphasized that even though individual FR1 would technically receive payment from intermediary 4, we would make sure that ATT gets credit for fulfilling this request. Referring to credit from Madigan, defendant responded that he had no objection to the plan, as long as you are sure we will get credit and the box checked. On the same day, individual ATT3 subsequently emailed individuals ATT1 and ATT2 and asked, "Are we 100% certain that we will get credit for being responsive?" Individual ATT3 further sought to confirm that AT&T would get credit from the powers that be, another veiled reference to Madigan. Individual ATT2 responded, "I would hope that as long as we explain the approach to McLean and individual FR1 gets the money, then the ultimate objective is reached." Individual ATT3 wrote in response, "I don't think Paul, defendant, wants this based on hope. We need to confirm prior to executing this strategy." The emails tellingly contained no discussion of whether this arrangement would be acceptable to the person receiving the payments, the government said. These emails demonstrate that it was McLean, acting as Madigan's agent, who dictated the payment arrangement with individual FR1, that the payments had no connection to any legitimate business need of AT&T, but were instead intended to secure Madigan's legislative support, the filing said. We contacted AT&T today and will update this article if the company offers any comment. Now back to the Coffee Time crew.
Well, wow. I mean, I myself personally, I'm being honest, I'm not surprised. I don't have a lot of faith in corporate. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of faith in politicians either, simply because of reasons like this. I mean, it's simple. I mean, there's a group of people, class of people, whatever you want to call them here, that, believe that, the rules don't apply to them. And if they don't like the rules that are there, then they do what they can to buy their way around the rules or eliminate the rule or change the rule or whatever the case may be. But these rules and regulations and all this kind of stuff, they're put in place to protect society, protect us, the taxpayers, protect us, the consumers. I mean, we're paying for all this stuff. I mean, they're doing, they want to eliminate, they don't want to no longer have to do landline service. They don't want to have to pay for, you know, cell tower stuff, all this stuff, these regulations. As Pedro points out, they don't want to pay into the same system that's filling their pockets full of money. This, creating the profits that their stockholders are taking home. All of this kind of stuff. They just, I mean, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy the way, these corporations and so on and so forth, the way they get down. I mean, but at the same time, what do we do? I mean, other than, we know about it, we try to do, I hope these folks get prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I mean, I believe that anybody that feels they're above the law, no, they need to be made an example of. Nobody in America is above the law. It's just that simple, period. I don't care who you are, from, the man sitting in the Oval Office of the White House all the way down to the man sleeping on the streets in LA or whatever city around the world, around the country, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. And the law should be applied to them equally. Okay? I mean, you should not get off with a slap on the back of the hand because you got money. No, if you're going to lock up that homeless man, lock up that man that's sitting in the corporate boardroom the same way. If you're going to give that man, the homeless man, 20 years, give that man in the boardroom 20 years. I mean, if they're being charged with the same crime, that's where, all I'm saying, let's be equal about this. Let's be fair about this. Let's not, but again, there's a group of people, that just feel that, they can do what they want to do. And it's not good. It's really not good. We all end up paying for it in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Even the money they're passing out to these politicians, where they get that money? They got it from us, the consumer. They got it from us, the taxpayers, And the sad part about it is we're paying one entity for their service. Now, then they're going to take our money to pay a tax, an elected official, somebody that's hired, voted into office to protect our interests. They're going to pay them to, protect their interests instead of our interests, So it's a crooked thing going on. And the sad part about it is the only thing we can really do about it is vote. Okay? When we notice these crooked politicians and stuff like this, we got to vote them out. We got to find politicians that, that are on our side, that are doing our work, that are there to protect us. And we keep those folks in office. We get rid of the ones that don't want to do their job, that we hired them to go to whatever level of government, and I say whatever level, because we got city, county, state, and national, right? Federal. So again, wherever they got voted in at, they need to do their job. If not, they need to be voted out. Okay. So the main thing is vote. Vote, vote, vote. That's our only tool to make this work. So and use them, we're all in essence reporters, right? We can all, when we see these things, let's report it. Let's let let it be known what's going on. Show those that are sitting there and really not paying attention to what's going on. We got to let them know what's going on as well, so that they're not necessarily just kind of wasting their vote. But at the same time, I mean, can I say one company is better than the other? You know, I mean, there's AT&T. They're okay. They're the one in the spotlight here because why? They got caught. But who's to say some of these other companies are not doing the same thing? I mean, I'm sorry. My opinion is I don't have a whole lot of faith in any of them. So that's just my opinion. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but there might be some folks out there that do agree with me, and we're just gonna roll with it like that. So anyway, let me quit talking for a minute and play some stuff for you here. Let me get back up here to this. Be right back.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
All right, I'm going to run this one more time about the casino trip.
Feeling lucky? Join Blind United for a thrilling day at Viejas Casino and Resort. Slaw Machine. Mark your calendars for Friday, August 9th. We're rolling out from Montclair and Buena Park at 9 a.m. sharp, so don't be late. For just $21, enjoy a ride filled with fun, refreshments, and the chance to win big. Remember, space is limited, and the deadline for your non-refundable payment is July 9th. Bring your game face and your ID and get ready for a day of excitement and entertainment. No worries about the drive. We've got you covered there and back. Book your spot now. Contact Cheryl at 909-821-9589, Turston74@gmail.com, or Pedro at 323-631-2122, Paguilera at blindunited.org. You can sell your payments to Blind United Incorporated using the email blindunited2022@gmail.com. Let's hit the jackpot together.
And don't forget, if you hit the jackpot, please don't forget about us. We would really appreciate something like that. Man, I dream sometimes, believe it or not, I played a lottery. I played a lottery in hopes that one day, we might hit that lottery and then we could do everything we'd love to do with Blind United as far as having training centers and stuff like that. And not only here where we live in Southern California, but, a few of them across the country, wherever they're needed. I mean, maybe even a little smaller centers, local centers, in cities across the country, as many as whenever they're needed at, we just want to do whatever we can for the community, but along with that is other programs, again, because there's also a large sector of our community that don't qualify for services. But come on, man, we need it in today's world. Everybody deserves the services because, everybody needs services. They need to learn how to use technology and stuff like that. Why? Because everything we do today is, technology based. I mean, most of our bills and stuff like that, most of the stuff we do, a lot of the stuff we do anyway, is done on the computer, on the internet. It's done online. A lot of your shopping, paying your bills. A lot of your government stuff. Taking care of your personal business and stuff like that. Even nowadays, even your medical stuff. I go on there. I can see my test results. I can, see when my appointments are. I can, make appointments. I can message back and forth with my doctor. So again, Blind United, we're trying to provide all of that stuff to everybody for free, the training on how to be able to do that kind of stuff and live an independent, life, live your best life. I mean, that's the goal. But to have everybody, be able to live their best life. But, again, in that is programs for people that don't qualify for services, not only to get training, which we're trying to provide that kind of stuff right now, but what about equipment? These computers are expensive, especially when you're talking about putting in the extra software that's needed, for us, screen readers and stuff like that. So none of that stuff is cheap. And these folks, if they don't qualify for services, chances are they they just can't afford it. So that's another thing Blind United wants to try to do is help bridge that gap when and where we can. So for worthy folks as well. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but there's a lot of folks out there that just want to get your equipment and don't do anything with it, or maybe they were just like anybody else. I mean, I'm sorry. I've known folks that get equipment and go sell it, so again, we got to be aware. We got to be careful even within our community. I'm sorry. I'm keeping it real, keeping it 100. So, anyway, let me keep moving forward here. Man, we're moving right along. This one here is going to be a little long as well, but something I guess we're right around the corner from as well. So we'll talk about this a little bit on the other side.
Scientific discovery just created the instruction manual for light-speed travel. In a first for warp drives, this research actually obeys the laws of physics. With the ease of starting a car, the crew of the USS Enterprise starship streaks to a new adventure in every episode of Star Trek, somehow traveling at several times the speed of light. This sci-fi mode of practical interstellar travel, which television audiences first saw in 1966, inspired Mexican physicist Miguel Alcubierre Moya to investigate the feasibility of a real method for light-speed propulsion. Decades later, he published his cutting-edge research to an astonished community of theoretical physicists. The eponymous Alcubierre warp drive hypothetically contracts the spacetime in front of a spaceship while expanding the spacetime behind it, so that the ship moves from point A to point B at an arbitrarily fast speed. By distorting spacetime, the continuum enfolding the three dimensions of space and time, an observer outside the ship's warp bubble would see the ship moving faster than the speed of light, even though observers inside the craft would feel no acceleration forces. If a superluminal, meaning faster than the speed of light, warp drive like Alcubierre's worked, it would revolutionize humanity's endeavors across the universe, allowing us, perhaps, to reach Alpha Centauri, our closest star system, in days or weeks, even though it's 4 light-years away. Quote the clip above from the 2016 film Star Trek Beyond showcases the effect of a starship zipping through space inside a faster-than-light warp bubble. You can see the imagined but hypothetically accurate warping of spacetime. However, the Alcubierre drive has a glaring problem. The force behind its operation, called negative energy, involves exotic particles, hypothetical matter that, as far as we know, doesn't exist in our universe. Described only in mathematical terms, exotic particles act in unexpected ways, like having negative mass and working in opposition to gravity. In fact, it has anti-gravity. For the past 30 years, scientists have been publishing research that chips away at the inherent hurdles to light speed revealed in Alcubierre's foundational 1994 article published in the peer-reviewed journal Classical and Quantum Gravity. Now, researchers at the New York City-based think tank Applied Physics believe they've found a creative new approach to solving the warp drive's fundamental roadblock. Along with colleagues from other institutions, the team envisioned a positive energy system that doesn't violate the known laws of physics. It's a game changer, say 2 of the study's authors, Johnny Martiri, CEO of Applied Physics, and Jared Fuchs, PhD, a senior scientist there. Their work, also published in Classical and Quantum Gravity in late April, could be the first chapter in the manual for interstellar spaceflight. Instead, regular old positive energy is more feasible for constructing the warp bubble. As its name suggests, it's a spherical structure that surrounds and encloses space for a passenger ship using a shell of regular, but incredibly dense, matter. The bubble propels the spaceship using the powerful gravity of the shell, but without causing the passengers to feel any acceleration. An elevator ride would be more eventful, Martiri says. That's because the density of the shell, as well as the pressure it exerts on the interior, is controlled carefully, Fuchs tells Popular Mechanics. Nothing can travel faster than the speed of light, according to the gravity-bound principles of Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity. So, the bubble is designed such that observers within their local space-time environment, inside the bubble, experience normal movement in time. Simultaneously, the bubble itself compresses the space-time in front of the ship and expands it behind the ship, varying itself and the contained craft incredibly fast. The walls of the bubble generate the necessary momentum, akin to the momentum of balls rolling, Fuchs explains. It's the movement of the matter in the walls that actually creates the effect for passengers on the inside. Building on its 2021 paper published in Classical and Quantum Gravity, which details the same researchers' earlier work on physical warp drives, the team was able to model the complexity of the system using its own computational program, Warp Factory. This toolkit for modeling warp drive spacetimes allows researchers to evaluate Einstein's field equations and compute the energy conditions required for various warp drive geometries. Anyone can download and use it for free. These experiments led to what Fuchs calls a mini-model, the first general model of a positive energy warp drive. Their past work also demonstrated that the amount of energy a warp bubble requires depends on the shape of the bubble. For example, the flatter the bubble in the direction of travel, the less energy it needs. This latest advancement suggests fresh possibilities for studying warp travel design, Eric Lentz, PhD, tells Popular Mechanics. In his current position as a staff physicist at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory in Richland, Washington, Lentz contributes to research on dark matter detection and quantum information science research. His independent research in warp drive theory also aims to be grounded in conventional physics while reimagining the shape of warp space. The topic needs to overcome many practical hurdles, he says. Controlling warp bubbles requires a great deal of coordination because they involve enormous amounts of matter and energy to keep the passengers safe and with a similar passage of time as the destination. We could just as well engineer space-time where time passes much differently inside, the passenger compartment, than outside. We could miss our appointment at Proxima Centauri if we aren't careful, Lentz says. That is still a risk if we are traveling less than the speed of light. Communication between people inside the bubble and outside could also become distorted as it passes through the curvature of warp space, he adds. While applied physics' current solution requires a warp drive that travels below the speed of light, the model still needs to plug in a mass equivalent to about 2 Jupiters. Otherwise, it will never achieve the gravitational force and momentum high enough to cause a meaningful warp effect. But no one knows what the source of this mass could be, not yet at least. Some research suggests that if we could somehow harness dark matter, we could use it for light-speed travel, but Fuchs and Martiri are doubtful, since it's currently a big mystery and an exotic particle. Despite the many problems scientists still need to solve to build a working warp drive, the applied physics team claims its model should eventually get closer to light speed. And even if a feasible model remains below the speed of light, it's a vast improvement over today's technology. For example, traveling at even half the speed of light to Alpha Centauri would take 9 years. In stark contrast, our fastest spacecraft, Voyager 1, currently traveling at 38,000 miles per hour, would take 75,000 years to reach our closest neighboring star system. Of course, as you approach the actual speed of light, things get truly weird, according to the principles of Einstein's special relativity. The mass of an object moving faster and faster would increase infinitely, eventually requiring an infinite amount of energy to maintain its speed. That's the chief limitation and key challenge we have to overcome. How can we have all this matter in our bubble, but not at such a scale that we can never even put it together? Martiri says. It's possible the answer lies in condensed matter physics, he adds. This branch of physics deals particularly with the forces between atoms and electrons in matter. It has already proven fundamental to several of our current technologies, such as transistors, solid-state lasers, and magnetic storage media. The other big issue is that current models allow a stable warp bubble, but only for a constant velocity. Scientists still need to figure out how to design an initial acceleration. On the other end of the journey, how will the ship slow down and stop? It's like trying to grasp the automobile for the first time, Martiri says. We don't have an engine just yet, but we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Warp drive technology is at the stage of 1882 car technology, he says, when automobile travel was possible, but it still looked like a hard problem. The applied physics team believes future innovations in warp travel are inevitable. The general positive energy model is a first step. Besides, you don't need to zoom at light speed to achieve distances that today are just a dream, Martiri says. Humanity is officially, mathematically, on an interstellar track. Now back to the coffee time crew.
Wow. Again. Again, technology, y'all. Technology. I mean, they're going to get there. Eventually, they're going to get there. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know that I'll be around to see it. It'd be great to see that. Well, I can't see it, but it'd be great, to be alive during the time when true warp speed is developed. I mean, the space is the frontier now. I mean, they're going to do everything they can to try to figure out how to get there and how to get there fast. So warp speed is part of that. I mean, so let's, a lot of the things that we have in our society right now at one time was considered to be, science fiction. They didn't think that we would have this stuff. They didn't think that we'd be walking around with, phones in our hands, that we could, to actually see people on the other end of it versus, just, communicating, talking, whatever. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff, all this AI stuff. AI is going to play a big part in this warp speed stuff, So, again, folks, technology is going to happen. You might want to get with it as soon as possible. This is a little bit out of my realm, of course. I know nothing about physics, but bottom line, they've been studying it forever. Physics is very important. It's a part of, of what we do and how things work, the mechanics of life and so on and so forth. So just learning how to work within that, I mean, you think about it, it's still the same thing. Even the math and the physics of, I go back to a movie that I really enjoyed, Hidden Figures, when they were first trying to get into space and, and they didn't even have the math necessary that they needed, to bring the spaceships back home, the capsules and stuff like that. So they had to create all that stuff. So, I mean, you think of now, okay, cool. We got past it. We know how to get into space now. They're building space stations. Who knows? They might end up building something on the moon, whatever the case may be. It's going to be like a spaceport or something, I believe. And all of this, warp speed kind of stuff, Star Trek kind of stuff, if you will. That's where it's going to take place at. I mean, we're going to figure out some sort of a shuttle to get us, on and off the planet to that spaceport. And then from there, who knows? Who knows? I mean, so everybody just get ready for it. Hopefully we might get to see a piece of that before I'm out of here anyway. But anyway, it's been another great day. Wednesday, hump day. I guess I got my hump on today. I got it done. Got the day full of a conversation. Hopefully, I didn't fumble too much. Hopefully, I didn't bore you folks too much. For those that check it out a little bit later on, again, I appreciate everybody for coming in. If you're watching and didn't comment, hey, don't be scared. Come on, step up. Let your presence be known. Please, I'd love to have that interaction with you. If you're watching it later on, please like, share. If you get an opportunity, please, please, please run over to YouTube. Find Blind United over there. Please like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Get the notifications over there. Watch us over there. I mean, sometimes Meta is not liking certain things lately. I mean, they actually pulled our coffee time down the other day, talking about we had nudity going on. That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me because, why would we do that? No. Most of the time, we're sitting there with our cameras off. So, whatever. But YouTube is, a better place to view us at, without having to deal with. Well, I'm coming to find out AI is what's controlling a lot of what's going over in Meta as well. So their AI model said we had nudity on the thing, so they pulled our video. Well, we're going to let them roll with that. We know better. We're going to keep moving forward. So on that note, again, thank you, everybody. And we'll see you again tomorrow on Thursday. Thursday. So everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget to join us at 2 p.m. for Deborah Erickson and The Blind Kitchen, and then again at 4 o'clock with Sean Keane for Introduction to AI. So everybody have a great day, and we'll see you on a little bit later.